All good morning, Jagendra Rana here. Topic of the day is penalties imposed by the IRDAI on insurers. Penalty imposed on insurers by IRDAI. So the penalties imposed by the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India on insurance companies are important because they help to ensure that insurers comply with the regulations and guidelines that govern them. These penalties help to protect the interest of the policyholders and promote fairness and transparency in the insurance industry. So, some other ways are there. Here are some other ways that IRDAI regulates the insurance industry. Say, for example, on-site inspections. So the insurance regulator sends the inspection teams regularly to inspect insurers to ensure they are complying with the regulations. IRDAI grants licenses to insurance companies, and IRDAI sets capital requirement for insurance companies. So IRDAI expects that the insurance company must have an effective grievance redressal mechanism. Now, non-compliance with insurance regulations in India can result in various penalties and consequences depending on the nature and severity of the violation. So the regulatory framework for insurance in India is primarily governed by the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India. Some common penalties and consequences for non-compliance with the insurance regulations are there. Fine and penalties on insurance companies, insurance intermediaries, and other entities involved in insurance industry can be subject to fines and penalties for violating regulatory requirements. So these fines can vary in amount and are imposed based on the specific violations and its impact. Then suspension or cancellation of license. The IRDAI has the authority to suspend or cancel the license of an insurance company or insurance intermediary found to be in serious violation of insurance regulations. This can result in the entity being prohibited from conducting insurance business in India. The other way is compensation to policyholders. In cases where non-compliance with regulations leads to harm or financial loss to policyholders, the insurance company may be required to compensate affected policyholders as per the terms of their policies and regulatory directives. Non-compliant entities may be subjected to enhanced regulatory scrutiny, including increased reporting requirements, audits, and inspections. So the regulatory authority may publicly censor or name non-compliant entities which can harm their reputation and credibility in the market. In cases of severe non-compliance or fraudulent activities, legal action can be initiated against individuals and entities, potentially leading to criminal charges and prosecution. Non-compliance can negatively affect an insurance company's marketing standing, leading to a loss of business and investors' confidence. So non-compliance can harm policyholders by leading to claim disputes, delays in claim settlement, or a lack of coverage when needed. So entities that do not comply with regulatory requirement may lose approvals for new product launches, mergers, acquisitions, or other business activities that require regulatory clearances. It is essential for insurance companies, insurance intermediaries, and individuals involved in the insurance industry to be fully aware of and adhere to the relevant insurance regulations to avoid the above penalties and consequences. So compliance not only ensures the protection of policyholders but also helps maintain the integrity and stability of the insurance industry in India. So the specific penalties and consequences can vary based on the nature and severity of the violation, and changes in regulations or enforcement practices may occur over time. So it is advisable to consult legal counsel or a regulatory authorities for the most up-to-date information on insurance regulations and compliance requirements in India. So the judiciary in India plays a crucial role in the field of insurance law by interpreting and applying insurance-related laws and regulations, resolving disputes between insurers and policyholders, and providing legal clarity on insurance matters. So some key roles and functions of judiciary in insurance law in India are there. The judiciary interprets and clarifies the provisions of various insurance laws and regulations, including the Insurance Act 1938 and the rules and guidelines issued by Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India. The courts helps establish the legal framework within which insurance companies operate. Then contractual dispute resolution. Courts handle dispute arising from insurance contracts, that is insurance policies, between policyholders and insurance companies. These disputes may involve claim denials, delays in claim settlement, disputes over policy terms and conditions, and issues related to premium payments. Then enforcement of insurance contracts. So the judiciary ensures the enforcement of insurance contracts by compelling insurance companies to fulfill their obligations as stipulated in the policy. This includes ensuring timely claim settlement when a policyholder is eligible for payout. Then regulatory compliance. Courts can hold insurance companies accountable for non-compliance with regulatory requirements such as those imposed by the IRDAI. Non-compliance can lead to legal penalties and enforcement actions. And the judiciary handles cases involving insurance fraud, including fraudulent claims and misrepresentations by policyholders. Individuals found guilty of insurance fraud can be subject to legal penalties. Then courts provide clarity on the interpretation of policy terms and conditions when disputes arise. So they examine the language of insurance policies to determine the intent of the parties and how specific provisions should be applied. The judiciary ensures that the insurance companies act in the public interest and adhere to fair and ethical business practices. Courts can take action against insurance companies that engage in unfair practices or harm policyholders. So consumer protection courts play a role of protecting the interest of policyholders and ensuring that they are not unfairly treated by insurance companies. So they may address issues related to misselling of insurance products, unethical practices, and the rights of policyholders. In cases where regulatory decisions or orders issued by the IRDAI are challenged, the judiciary reviews and decides on the legality and appropriateness of such decisions. So judicial decisions on insurance cases can set legal precedents that guide future insurance related disputes and establish principles for the insurance industry to follow. The role of the judiciary in insurance law is critical in upholding the rights of policyholders, ensuring fair and transparent practices in the insurance sector, and maintaining the overall integrity of the insurance industry in India. So the legal judgments and decisions in insurance cases helps shape the legal landscape and provide clarity and consistency in the interpretation and application of insurance laws and regulations. Insurance laws and regulations. So this is most important for all the insurance companies to follow the IRDAI regulations as well as the existing law of the land, because all insurance companies which are licensed by the IRDAI are governed by the insurance regulator. So non-compliance with insurance regulations in India can result in various penalties and consequences depending on the nature and severity of the violation. So the regulatory framework for insurance in India is primarily governed by the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India. So common penalties for common violations are there, but harsh penalties for severe violations are also there, which can include even the suspension or cancellation of the license, because the IRDAI has the authority to suspend or cancel the license of an insurance company or insurance intermediary found to be in serious violation of insurance regulations. This can result in the entity being prohibited from conducting insurance business in India. Not only that, in cases where non-compliance with the regulations leads to harm or financial loss to policyholders, the insurance company may be required to compensate affected policyholders as per the terms of their policies and regulatory directives. Non-compliant entities may be subjected to enhanced regulatory scrutiny, including increased reporting requirements, audits, and inspections. So the regulatory authority may publicly censor or name non-compliant entities which can harm their reputation and credibility in the market. In cases of severe non-compliance or fraudulent activities, legal action can be initiated against individuals and entities, potentially leading to criminal charges and prosecution. Non-compliance can negatively affect an insurance company's market standing, leading to a loss of business and investors' confidence. Non-compliance can harm policyholders by leading to claim disputes, delays in claim settlement, or a lack of coverage when needed. So entities that do not comply with regulatory requirements may lose approvals for new product launches, mergers, acquisitions, or other business activities that require regulatory clearances. So under all the circumstances, it is essential for the insurance companies and insurance intermediaries and individuals involved in the insurance industry to be fully aware of and adhere to the relevant insurance regulations to avoid the penalties and consequences. Compliance not only ensures the protection of policyholders but also helps maintain the integrity and stability of the insurance industry in India. So the specific penalties and consequences can vary based on the nature and severity of the violation, and changes in regulations or enforcement practices may occur over time. So it is always advisable to consult legal counsel or regulatory authorities for the most up-to-date information on insurance regulations and compliance requirement in India. Thank you very much.